Hello everyone. I saved thousands of dollars just building the solar light system, and now I'm going to show you how to do it. Have you ever been in a situation where you have to light a sign outside a building and you have nowhere to get power? Closest power you get is somewhere either in the building or somewhere close outside the building, and you're going to have to run a conduit underground out there and have a box and do all that. And the worst comes when you have a parking lot that is full of concrete, and to do so you have to break the concrete and then run your conduit. And I ran into this problem where I wanted to put out a banner outside a restaurant. I want to put lights on it so people can see it at night. To run power to the banner, I have estimated anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000–$3,000. There got to be a better way. So solar comes across my mind. It came across my mind because I was investigating to build something similar for my backyard to lit up some of the lighting, to lit up some of the light in my backyard. And about 10 years ago, that was 10 years back. And back then, everything was expensive. The battery, the solar panel, and when I sat down and do the cost calculation, it was out of whack. It's just not feasible. I remember I had to spend at least $800–$900 just to put something down like that. As you know, recently the price of the solar and the battery has dropped dramatically. I mean, the battery is driven by a lot of this electrification program around the world. The electric vehicle actually helped the price of the battery drop significantly because they try to figure out how to mass produce it and reduce the cost, because that was the most significant cost of an electric vehicle is the battery. And they've been doing a good job. I mean, the battery has dropped quite a bit. You can pretty much get like 50 cents per watt now, and on a solar panel probably less than 50 cents. I say 40–30 cents. That makes a lot of sense. And some of you might say, well, why you want to build one? Well, you can just go to Amazon and order one. Well, I did. I went and looked, and none of those systems will fit my need. I mean, they either have small, little dingy solar panels with little dingy batteries, and you know, some of them actually have separate panels, 30 watts, 40 watts. They haven't seen 30 watts, and the only problem with that is they have to integrate that battery into the light, and the lights and the battery they have is only 5 amp hour, so which is not big enough. I mean, to run a light that have significant output over 5–6 hours, you're gonna need quite a bit of power, and whatever they put on there is not enough. I mean, they try to use different way, like they're going to power it down to 50% or 40% when somebody walk by with a proximity sensor, and you will turn on full blast. But that's not my application. My application is turn on full blast for 5 or 6 hours and shut it off, and then during the day charge. So some of those systems, the bigger one I saw, it costs over $100. So it's not really a great saving, because this system that I built, parks and everything included, I spent just a little bit over $200. I mean, the panel cost me $70–$80. The biggest cost is the battery and the panel. Those two already cost like $150. So the J-box and all the other wires and all the other stuff, that adds up to be maybe a little bit of $200. The reason I built it is also reliability. I built this because of reliability. I know those things that you get from Amazon, they may work maybe 2–3 years and something will go wrong and you have to go replace it again. But this system that I built, I know at least lasts 10 years. The battery is over spec, and over the 6-hour operation period, I'm only taking 50% of the battery. So I'm not really taking the battery straight all the way down to deep cycle. So only time that will happen if maybe in the winter the sunlight was not that good and the battery didn't get the charge all the way up, so it may take a little deeper than 50%. But with that kind of usage, I mean, I can easily get 10 years, 20 years out of this battery. The weakest link is the light and the photosensor. Everything is inside the enclosure and it's protected. And the enclosure also has vents, so it kind of keep it cool if it get hot during the day. And plus I mount the enclosure behind the panel, so it's not in the direct sunlight either. So on that perspective, that should be good. So far it has been working pretty good. I mean, it's been 4 weeks now and I haven't seen any problem. I've been out there checking on it and it seems to be normal. I just want a system that's reliable, so when you install it, you don't have to worry about it. When the sun goes down, it turns on the light. 6 hours, it shuts off. The next day, it does the same thing. So that's what a good system's supposed to do. Here I have a 200 watt hour, 16 amp hour, 12 volt battery, and then I have a solar charger, and then I have a timer, and I also have mounted the photo sensor. So we got a 50 watt solar panel, and I built this wooden frame so you can mount it horizontally or vertically. And if you mount it horizontally on a pole or something on top or something, you can just screw down here or screw it down this way. And if you're gonna mount it on a pole, we have to move the electrical box, and you can use a U-bolt to mount it and spin it to whatever direction you want and tighten the U-bolt. And since we're gonna do a horizontal mount, I mount the electrical box back here. And let's turn around. Let's open up the electrical box. See what we got. Okay. And what we got here, these are the vents that I added, so in case it get hot, the air will circulate, since this is a sealed box. So that's why we added this vent. And here's the timer, and here's the solar charger, and here's the battery, and the opto sensors over here. And when the sun goes down, this will trip, and then will trigger the timer, and we can set the timer to however long we want the light to stay on, or you can just bypass the timer so it will come on dusk to dawn operation. But since these application, we only want to lit the sign maybe till midnight, so I had this set at 6 hours, so it will lit up for 6 hours and then you cut off. That way you save a lot of battery. So when it cuts off, the battery will continue to power the timer until the sun comes back up, and you will cut off the power to the timer, and the timer will reset. And what happened here is the solar charger, and it will charge the battery when the sun comes up, and when it's full, it will shut off. And this is the wire to the light that I built yesterday. It's wired to the light output, and also a USB 5-volt USB 2 amp connector back there. If you have to hook some kind of condition monitoring, that's what I have in mind. I put like a little D1 mini Wemos Wi-Fi board in here, so I can get the status of the temperature. I can get the status of the charge, and I can do a lot of things. I can even hook into the RS-232 port and get real-time data, send it to my cell phone. So that probably in phase 2, but the possibilities are endless. This is an outdoor sign. For me to get light out here at night, I'll have to get it from that pole, and I'll have to hire somebody to knock out the concrete and put a conduit along here, and then come in this way to power these lights. So this solar system actually worked perfectly in this situation. So for mounting the light, I just use a PVC pipe and drill some hole and mount the lights to it on a T, and then that's another T at the back. I put 2 screws on each end to hold it in, and just the pipe. And mounted this horizontally on top of these wooden frame, and I have screws going down, and I have brackets just to secure it. And you kind of want to sit it out here when it's balanced, because you have imbalance of weight because of this angle. And also I added a lock, so if somebody do try to steal it, it make it harder for them to do it. And also I locked the battery inside. Alright, night has fallen, and that 10-watt LED light does its job. I mean, the sign was lit up pretty good. I mean, you can see it far away.